Good morning, good morning, good morning, y'all. It's that time. It is Conversations with Renee. So, listen, this one today, right? I have conversation with friends. Actually, I have conversation with everybody. Y'all know that by now, right? So, I love it when you are being your authentic self. Just being in purpose intentionally and you just connect with people and pretty much that's how my guest is today. We having conversations with Jason, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you how I met Jason. Right, this is how I just love life. I love living life. John 10:10 says, God, he said, I came that you have life and it in abundance. And y'all know how I always start everything off, right? I usually say, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So no matter what happens in that day, look for the rejoicing. I'm in what food? I'm in the market. I'm in the market. Let's just go there. I'm in the market. And I was like, you know what? I'm starting this little different health journey and just making sure I'm being intentional and conscious about what I'm putting in my body. So I said, I'm getting ready to stop at the store. I didn't have any water on me. I left my water bottle at home. And I said, let me go get some water and a lemon. I'm going to put my lemon water together and go about my way. Go inside the store and I see this gentleman talking to these other gentlemen. They were twins, in fact. And he was getting ready to take a selfie. And I'm like, I see him getting his phone out and everything. Why not? Be who I am. Hey, y'all want me to take that picture? And he was like, hey, yeah, absolutely. I'm
So
like,
did.
wasn't it like that, Jason?
It was absolutely like that.
And I'm like, I told him when he looked, he was like, thanks a lot. And I'm like, nah, really. It's just still real good people out here. Like, it's people that still want to help people out here. And I just happen to be one of them. And then as we talked a little bit and was talking to the gentleman and everything that he took the pictures with, it was like a good, and I say this all the time, Jason, you don't know me like that, but I tell people all the time, that was good fellowship that we have. People think you have to go into the
Totally
building
agree.
called church to have fellowship, but what we did in the market was fellowship today.
I totally agree. I concur. The whole event, the way it happened, the atmosphere. Of course, I was at work. Jason Mitch, I can't make this up. And I see twins with U.S. Army hats on, right?
Hmm.
And that just struck my interest. Like it ain't every day you run into male twins,
Hmm.
identical, at the age of 70.
Yeah.
And I said,
Healthy, all that. Yep.
most definitely. And they had already passed me, right? But something in my spirit said, you know what? Capture this moment.
Mm.
And that's when you was coming around the aisle and your spirit, it just resonated. It was authentic and it just moved. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And I even made a little joke about dropping my phone with a broken screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. His phone was all cracked
And
up, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I don't want to cut my fingers now. I ain't mess with. I was like, Jason phone all cracked up.
ride my scooter and it fell. Yeah. And when I say Miss Renee, when you did that and you actually elaborated on what you do and all that, that's when I felt the spirit.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? God sent people at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
at the right place. And then it's not always where we think it's supposed to
Yeah.
be. And
Yeah.
I totally agree with what you said. And that led me back to we be in the church,
Yeah.
as in living it every day, not just in the
Absolutely.
building,
But
you
but
know.
but but Jason, you said something off this conversation that we're gonna put in the conversation because I think it was so poignant. You said, I've been praying to God for divine connections, right? And when you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
intentional and purposed, like for what you declare in your day. And we don't realize how powerful and impactful that is, not only to say it, but to believe it. Because it's so easy for us to believe when we get up and be like, oh my God, here we go again. I gotta go to work. I know they gonna be tripping. I'm gonna have a crazy day. You believe that. And that's exactly what that day becomes. But when you profess and speak and believe something else or whatever it is, it happens. You didn't know you were going to bump into me today, but you
No, I
believed
did
that you
not.
was going to have a divine connection.
Yes, ma'am. I sure did. For the simple fact is, my morning prayer has changed a little bit
Okay.
because I had to give relevance to, and no, ma'am, I'm not perfect by no means,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
but I have to give relevance to like pep rallies, like in school, get ready
mm-hmm,
for the game.
mm-hmm.
getting ready for the day, I asked God to allow me strength to deal with His humans
Yeah, yeah.
because I never know what I'm going to encounter, what kind of spirit I'm going to encounter, what kind of
Mhm,
mood, swing, mental illness, or whatever. I never know what I'm going to encounter. But
mhm.
I had come to the realization of over the period of my life that I am too old for friends.
Ooh,
Because
woo,
the end
woo.
of the word is end. The end of the word is end.
Ooh, you better
And they
teach.
say if you have two friends, three friends, you're doing great in your
Mhm.
life.
Absolutely.
That actually didn't come from your mother, friend from another mother, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
And I pray for divine connections, and that's what I believe in. That's what I move in
Mm.
because I know when it's divine connections, that means God opened the door. That means no human can close it.
Absolutely. And Jason, you know what? It's so funny that you said that you're too old for friends now. I was like, I know people think I'm mean when I make this statement, and you've encountered me, like you said. So you got my authentic me. I always say, no new friends. Like, I'm too old. Like you said, I'm too old. I don't need no more friends. I need the people who God has purposed for my life. Because, see, there were so many people I picked up on this road, this journey called life, that I put in the position of friend that, first of all, didn't even deserve it.
Mm,
Secondly, I didn't even understand what a real friend was because I was just using space fillers because I was still healing. So I just put people
yes,
in
ma'am.
places and said that they was my friends, but they were never my friends. You understand what I'm saying? So when I
Most
started
definitely.
healing and understanding that first and foremost that there's no friend that sticks closer than a brother like my father, right? And then when I realized that I learned to be my own best friend, it made me understand and decide and see, wait a minute, hold up, that's not a category that I put everybody in. And I've had people mad at me, Jason, because they was like, well, I thought I was your friend. You called me your associate. You called me your peer. Yeah, baby, because the title of friend you gotta earn. That don't.
Yes, ma'am, and I totally agree with you, especially when you have grew up, moved around, had kids, had
Yes.
experiences, went on the first date, had the first kiss,
Mm-hmm.
graduated high school, graduated college, or didn't go. I mean, life take us in different directions,
Yeah.
and as people evolve, grow older, mature, some don't mature, some stay the same, some get worse. Um, I'm just at the point where I can't tolerate or I
Mm.
don't have time to watch my back from somebody that
Ooh.
say they love me
Yeah.
when actions speak louder than words. Because of for the last 2 years dealing with a broke leg, I
Mhm.
have been a man of few words.
Okay.
You know, from doing activist work, from doing youth empowerment, from doing all the stuff I used to do of the past. And dealing with this broke leg, it taught me a lot in my time of need, in my
Mm-hmm.
time down,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with that word friend
Come on.
you know, and the definition and defined it, and it
Yeah.
take me to Houdini.
Listen, I was just
The
getting ready to
song.
go. How many of us have them?
Let's
People
have
know
them
I will bust out in a song
friends,
in a minute.
most definitely because
Ones
that's
we
who you
can
are.
depend on. Let's
Don.
be friends. Uh-huh.
Friends. Okay, so when a divine connection happens,
Mm-hmm.
and God says He gives the okay, He signed the scroll. He say, okay, this is your tribe, this is
Mm-hmm.
your friend.
Come on.
Because there was not many people in the book called Bible that was called the friend of God.
Well, let's go here. Absolutely. I say this all the time, Jason. Check this one out. He had 12 people around him. He never
Come
called
on,
not
man.
one of them a friend. He called them
Whew.
disciples, but none of them was his friends. Do you understand what I'm saying? The
Yes,
only
ma'am.
one he called friend was Lazarus.
He
Hmm.
showed
And
did.
Lazarus
He
ain't even
showed
hang with him. So that's why when people be talking about like when you got them friendships where they go out all the time and they call each other and y'all and girl and I'm going just because we like the same music or go out and this that and other, you ain't my friend. Lazarus ain't hang with Jesus, and that's the only
no, he
person he
did.
called friend.
He showed did, and it's crazy because I was actually reading that story last week. I don't know why. I actually got the unction to read it a week before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A whole 7 days passed, and he dropped it right back on my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just one particular part in there. The family of Lazarus said he was dead. And Jesus immediately said, no, he's asleep.
Yep. Yep.
He said he's asleep.
Yep.
So the ones who we think are supposed to be in our life
Mm,
are not the ones that's gonna be in our life. You're gonna pick them up
mm.
along the way.
And everybody is for, and it was back in the day, they said something about they're either in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That is for real.
Yes, ma'am.
When Holy Spirit spoke to me about what a friend was, it was years ago, right? And I had to start revoking people license that I put in positions to drive
Mm.
as a friend, right? But what happened was he showed me, I had a women's ministry. And it was called Wish, Women I Shall Help. And I had two co-laborers that was with me. And as long as I was prophesying to other people and giving them what thus saith the Lord and rebuking and this, that, and another, they were all for me. They was, that's my girl, that's my girl, that's my girl. And when I had to give them a message or a rebuke, literally they turned on me like you turn a light switch on and off. And they was like, you think you Jesus, you think you all that, this, that. And I cried to God. Now listen to this, Jason. I cried and cried for days because I was like, God, I don't get it. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, why they doing me like that? And this is what, and I know you're gonna be able to understand the out the boxness of this,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Holy Spirit was like, took me to the dollar store and said, it was like Family Dollar, and it was a picture of the Last Supper. And he said, purchase this picture. I got the picture. I think it was like maybe 7.99 or something. And he said, look at this picture. Now, mind you, of course, the story itself is written in the Bible, but he said, look at this picture. And when I looked at the picture, it had the depiction of Jesus looking frontward. But everybody sitting at that table was looking away, having discussion. And in the word we read and just said they wanted to know who was going to be next in the kingdom, who was next in line, who was going to be great. He said this man was about to die and everybody else was fussing about something else. He was the only one. He
Mm.
had nobody beside him adhering to the fact that he had been telling them that he was about to go. None of them was his friends. And I just kept looking. I put it in my kitchen
That's a
and
powerful message.
I kept looking at that picture, Jason, every day until I realized, God, you are showing me, help me. Look, help me even in my empty spaces where I have put people and made them friends because you know, when I take them out of that space, it's going to be something that wants to fill it. So I want to fill it with you and not alcohol or men or substance or addictions or anything like that. So help me fill those empty spaces where people used to be called friend. Help me fill them, God.
Mm. Right then, I just felt a little something in my stomach go to tinkling. That was pretty powerful, and I received that. And I also seen something inside of that while you was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody looking away, thinking about what's
Yep.
next,
Yep.
what's next. And this just goes to show you the difference between religion and spiritual.
Ooh, now see, you talking my
Religion is
language, Jason.
spirit.
You're talking my
Religion
language.
is spiritual. And then he go to Paul in Romans where he started talking about we are all of the body but not the same branches. We're all
Absolutely.
in we all in the same tree, but we all have different offices,
And we have
you
to
know,
understand that because too many
and the,
people trying to be the hand when they really a foot, and now you frustrated with God. But all he told you to do was go ahead and be the foot, but you still up here trying to be the hand.
And the thing about it is the foot and the hand have their own function. You
Yep.
got to know your part. You got to know your position inside
Yep.
the kingdom. And you say you prophesize and you delivering the emotion of a human
Mm,
that's not spiritually inclined as you are.
mm,
So of course they're gonna ride with you, be on board with you.
mm.
But now here come David messed up, so they had to send who? The prophet had to come back to him and let him know what he had did.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
now when you got to give a friend, associate, acquaintance a word from God, now you think you did no. You have to accept the good with the bad.
Absolutely. He reigns on the
Everything
just
that's
as well
done
as
in
the
the dark,
unjust. Absolutely.
everything that's done in the dark shall come to the light.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
Mm-hmm.
help a person 99 times. And if you tell them one time,
Hmm.
they forget about the 99.
Absolutely. But that's
But
the
then
person that's riding with you, like you said, out of emotion. That's somebody who has a different agenda or an ulterior motive. And so it comes, like you said, everything done in the dark comes to the light. So when that one opportunity comes, it's the light is going to be shined, and whatever was dark is going to be revealed.
you have to get rid of the bitter and the sweet.
Hmm. And you were saying, I like this because I said you start talking, you start barking up my tree, right? When you're talking about the difference between, of course, spirituality and religion. Now, one of the things is, right, especially for me, and this is not any toot of the horn because I think that I am beautiful. I'm not for the aesthetics of pretty, right? So beauty is the light that shines within me, and that's what
Yes,
draws
ma'am.
people, right? And so a
Yes,
lot of,
ma'am.
so men are attractive and they conversate with me or whatever. They give me conversation and I give conversation because I talk to everybody. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm like, I'll ask them, I would say, I used to say, do you believe in God? And they would be like, yeah, I believe in God. And, I was baptized when I was little and this, that, and that. And I'm like, okay, yep, they just went somewhere else. But what happens is when people would find out that I was a licensed or that I'm a licensed ordained minister in the Christian faith or whatever the case may be, they would be like, yeah, I believe in God. And people would think that I was being sarcastic or smart, but my response would be, well, what God? Because I just need to know, because see, right now, a lot of people are spiritual. And I just need to understand which God that you're serving, right? Is it the Lord with capital Lord and God with capital God? Or is it a lowercase g? Says it all or all like who are you serving? Like, because right now we're living in such a time where spirituality is at a high, we have to identify what spirit are you led by?
The directions when El Shaddai
Come on. Come on.
gave him directions in the beginning of the book,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when Elohim said, I am the creator,
Come on.
when Jehovah Jireh said, I will provide for you,
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. So I stopped asking
and
people. So
Rapha,
then I say, what is your spiritual conviction? Because see, again, now since we're talking about spirits, what is your spiritual conviction? If your spiritual conviction is, and again, I this my show. I say what I want to, do what I want to. But when I say, well, what spiritual convictions do you have? Well, see, the universe. I'm sorry, wrong answer. Ding,
wrong
ding, ding.
answer.
Because see, my
Yeah,
spirit is housed from the one who created the universe. So if you only at the universe, you guys step it up some notches,
most
because
definitely, most definitely.
you still at low hanging fruit
Most definitely. Well, my spiritual conviction comes from greater is he that is
that is
within
in
than he
me.
is of the world.
Come
My
on,
spiritual conviction come through driving in traffic and tears come in
come
my
on.
eyes while
Mm,
the radio is playing and
mm,
the song has nothing to do with my emotions, but
mm,
my spiritual conviction me from something that happened yesterday
mhm,
or the day before or
mm,
last week. My spiritual conviction, personally, Jason Doc Mitchell, is greater is he that's within than he is of the
mm,
world, the one that allows
mm.
me air in my lungs on a day-to-day
Yes,
basis, the
yes.
one that can walk into a room
Mm,
and change the atmosphere temperature
mm,
without even opening a word. And I got off the train and the bus while
mm.
everybody else pulled up in trucks and Benzes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My
And
spiritual convictions is crying when it's nothing wrong. It's just the fact that you remember and reflect on where you was, where you could have been, and how he's kept you and things of that nature. Those are parts of my convictions, because my conviction is being able to listen to a voice that in the midst of me wanting to do what I know is wrong says, nope, I love you, my daughter. I don't need you to do that. You don't need to do that.
amen.
Make a different choice.
Amen.
Those where my convictions come from, to not do what I want to do, but do what I supposed to do and should do for myself and for the kingdom and the sake of others.
That what I don't need to do
Come
is what
on.
I do. And
Evil
that
is always
what
present.
I don't do, that's what I
Mm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Is what Paul said.
Yep. And that's why I have to have a spiritual conviction.
Yes, ma'am. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe spiritual convictions is I had to stop my scooter one day
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
love my scooter. It's very convenient. Um, I can get around. Don't have to worry about gas or none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I stay close to my place of employment right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I had to stop my scooter and sit beside a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that happened 3 months ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
3 months ago. And it came back up to my remembrance
Mhm.
because he revealed things to your mind.
Yes, he will.
And it came back to my remembrance. Little did I know I was going to run into the person right before me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it wasn't so much as a apology,
Mhm.
it was laziness because I was tired that day and
Mm.
really needed to rest.
That's a word
My
right there.
body
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
needed to rest, plus my leg, because I had rod and screws put in my leg. And
Okay.
I really needed to rest. And I wanted to help them. My spirit wanted to help them. They know I would have helped them,
Mhm.
but I chose to sleep.
Wow, come on. Can't
I
help
chose
nobody
to
without that self-care.
I
Mhm.
chose to sleep, but I knew that they would have jumped up for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
knew they would have jumped up for me.
Mm.
And I had a spiritual conviction. Little did I know I was finna run into him.
Wow.
He was pre-warning me that I was finna see them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Soon as I seen them, I didn't come with a immediately I'm sorry or this or that. First thing they asked me was, "How is your leg doing?"
Wow. Okay.
And I said, I appreciate that, but I said, hold on. That day, I wanted to help you, but I
Mm.
had to rest. So they
Mm.
had already answered the question for me
Mm.
in my response, like interchangeably,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I needed to rest my leg. I knew I needed to rest my leg,
Right. And so they
but
had
I
already
wanted to
given
help
you
them at
the
the same
the
time.
okay that they recognized.
Yes,
Mhm. Mhm.
yes. But I had a conviction since we was talking about conviction at
Mhm.
that moment,
Mhm.
and we was talking about the overflow and when tears come out, the
Yes.
cleansing process of the soul.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I like to say.
That is
I
it.
really enjoy this. I really enjoy this. This is amazing. Like I feel so alive right now. I feel so oh man, it's nighttime outside, but I feel like the sun is shining right now.
Praise God. And the good thing about that is one of the reasons why, and I don't invite everybody to the platform, but again, like you said, the Bible, I mean, like we deal with biblical scriptures, says, but try the spirit by the spirit and know that is of God, right? One
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
things and one of the reasons why I wanted to, because the humbleness in your spirit, and then having the conversation and just hearing you talk about what you do and what you want to do and all that for the community, we're supposed to be servants. And when I say that, I want to stop for a second because sometimes we can get, I call it spiritually manipulated into thinking service is do what the pastor say. And I've got a million stories because, I remember me going to church one time and I was, I'm a minister, like I said, and I was a minister at the church. And I
Yes, ma'am.
stopped, I stopped because Holy Spirit told me to turn my car around and go home. And I'm like, but I have to serve this Sunday. So, I'm like, what does that look like? I don't want to let them down. I'm supposed to serve. I was told I got to do blah, blah, blah. And what I heard in my spirit was, are you serving man or serving me? And I'm
Ooh,
like, oh, so people don't, and again, I'm not checking the church because people know I'm not religious, right?
yes,
Um,
ma'am.
but when people, and I've heard pastors say this throughout my years, and again, no, not checking people, but just putting it out there because that's what I do, right? I'm out the box. They would say, if you can't come in here and clean the toilets, if you can't scrub the floors, if you can't, then you ain't serving. Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with that serving you. Right? Don't be manipulating, spiritually manipulating people to think that if they not serving you, then they're not serving God because that's a lie straight from the pit of hell. Do you understand what I'm saying? Clean your
Yes,
own, get a
ma'am.
cleaning service. Clean your own toilets. You know? So I used to
Yes,
sit
ma'am.
there, I'm a little
I
defiant, but
totally, I
but
totally agree
but I'm
with you
like,
when
that's
you
not
said
serving
that.
God. That's serving you. But when you teach me how to serve God with my whole heart, love Him with my whole heart, then guess what? You ain't got to ask me to come in here and clean your toilet because I'm going to do it anyway because it's been laid on my heart to do. Stop spiritually manipulating people. That's why you got so many people who turn away from God because they've turned away from church, thinking church is God, but we are the church.
Okay, and that's supposed to be the hospital, and I love that example. I love it because of me being the son of an ordained minister, went to
Oh,
college, Morehouse, all of that.
mm-hmm.
I rooted with the book, but I still turned out to be the prodigal child.
Come on, but
You
that was for
know,
that was purposed
for my
like that.
personal work, yes, ma'am, for my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen situations too, whereas growing up, a lady faithfully did it for
Mm-hmm.
over 15 years,
Mm,
just faithfully, like just faithfully. And I seen where the congregation and the pastor rewarded her,
mm,
bought a brand new van. She
mm,
wanted one to pick her grandkids up. They bought a brand new van. But I also seen another case where at a different church,
mm-hmm.
place of worship, house of prayer, whereas what you said was going on. The
Mm-hmm.
spiritual manipulation as far as a person coming to a church to get healing.
Mm-hmm.
That means they have been broken down by life, situations, illustration, relationship, family, or whatever, etc. But only to listen to that part of the service and immediately get emotionally attached to, okay, this is where I can spend my time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
coming in, cleaning, serving.
And
But
now you done lost your family because you
you
give into the
serving,
church. You're right. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because you serving the house of prayer, but you serving just the house.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't
Where is
serving
the
God.
prayer at?
But
Where is the prayer at?
what did Jesus tell which one? Martha or Mary? He said, listen, she said, won't you make my sister clean up with me? He said, no, she's getting the better part. She's sitting at my feet. That was the service. You running around here like a chicken with your neck cut off, trying to clean and this, that,
Mm,
and another. That ain't got nothing to do with me, babe.
Hold on. What else was she doing though? What else was she doing? She took her hair and wiped his feet.
Mm, yeah.
She took her hair.
He says she's sitting at my feet and she's getting the better part of me because she's serving me. You cleaning this whole house, that's for you. Let's keep it 100. What do we do
Most
when
definitely.
company come over? We ain't cleaning for the company. We clean it because we don't want nobody to say our house dirty. That ain't for the company.
For real.
I'm just saying, let's just keep this thing 100.
And
But
then the new generational this new generational church, this new generational houses of prayer, you know, I'm not gonna just sit and say a lot of spiritual manipulation go on or
mhm.
psychology of words with scriptures. But
Mhm.
people that's not spiritually inclined, they
Mhm.
will fall upon the religion,
Mhm.
cult, control,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know. But when it's spiritually rooted inside of the church
Yeah.
and the person come humbly, it's gonna connect automatically. It's gonna be authentic.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
our
Mhm.
meeting is just gonna be, it's gonna happen. You can feel it.
Mhm. Mhm.
You can feel it's just real. But then when, like you said, when people leave and don't come back, it's after they done found out, and it's been revealed to them that I've been doing this in vain.
Yeah. And only what you're going to do for Christ would last. But that was the reason I invited you to the platform, though, because I'm dating myself, but I remember when I was crying years ago to God. I did a lot of crying. I was a weeping prophet. I did a lot of crying to God, but I was crying.
Isaiah.
And I was like, and I said, I wasn't, I felt like I just wasn't special, but I still loved him and he loved me. And I remember a song, and this is why I love music and all that stuff too, because I know that people like secular music, but baby, it's what it ministers to you. God can use anything to minister to you. And at that time when I wasn't feeling special and things of that nature, there was an old song by Marilyn McCool and somebody else, Billy Preston or something, and it said, "You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show." And I'm like looking like, wait. And I was like, God, and of course brought more tears. You don't have to be a star. And what I'm saying all that to say, when I invited you to the platform, when I heard what you was doing and what you wanted to do, I was like, he's a star, right?
Thank
No, really, 100. I'm like, you was in there just doing your work, but you're a star. Anybody who's a servant, not the celebrities that we see on television, and I say that
no
some of them
ma'am.
don't give, but I'm saying the real stars, right, are the ones who are shining for their community, shining to help people, shining to serve. Those are the stars. And so I wanted to bring this star right here on the platform. So I'm like, Jason, hey, here go, take my information, and reach out. Let's
Listen,
get you on the platform.
Jason Doc Mitchell live and direct. I can't make this up. If God be for us, who can be against us? We all done been
Absolutely.
up, we all done been down. Like it says, the wind go to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west.
Mm-hmm.
But after it all, Solomon found out that it was all dictation of the spirit, grasping for the wind.
Come
And
on
he
with it.
asked if I can have one thing. He said, if I could just have the wisdom and the heart
Where's oh my in the heart.
to judge your
Mm.
people,
Mm.
your humans. And that's why I always open my morning up before I leave my house. I need strength
Yeah.
to deal with God's humans because the old me, the other person, Big Mitch, instead of Jason Mitchell. Those are two different people in the
Oh,
same
come on.
body, in the
Come
same
on.
body.
Yes,
So
we beat that flesh into submission on a daily.
have to die daily. Die
Mm-hmm.
daily and is life or death for me at this stage of life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not an understatement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have to die daily in order to survive 124 hours
Yep.
above ground.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because if I
Absolutely.
don't submit or I don't try to ask for covering leaving that house where I live
The old man may surface.
because of somebody else's emotion, somebody else's mood, somebody
Mm-hmm.
else's spirit
Mm-hmm.
jumping off on me, getting too close to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm leery about people.
And you ain't got your armor on. Yeah, you gotta make
Yes,
sure you
ma'am.
suited up.
And boot it up because
Mm-hmm.
we're in the last days. Spirits are literally jumping
Ooh.
daily.
Ooh, like them little
They,
jumper
they
spotters they got down here all over the place. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. They're jumping, and porters are being open willingly because the
Yeah.
people are using HOST, their
Mm.
body. They're
Mm.
allowing their body to be a host.
Absolutely. Willingly and unwillingly.
That's why I'm saying I ask for divine connections. I need divine connections in my life around me,
Mm-hmm.
because of I'm gonna defend myself at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At all costs, I'm gonna defend myself, period. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to leave the house in defense mode.
Absolutely.
Half the
Absolutely.
world, half the world right now leave their house in defense mode due to this one-eyed devil called the telephone, which
Telephone
pre-pro
and television. All
tell
the
lies
tells
to
the
our
lie.
vision. You're right. We're so on the. Oh my God, we're on the same page. That's amazing. And what this device does on a day-to-day basis, the magnetic waves, like
Mm-hmm.
a microwave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You think something on impulse, ricochets off the water in your body.
Mm.
Our body is what? 75, 80%
I think it's
water.
yep, like 80% water, yeah.
Okay. So you can think it, pick up the phone, and there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And now in my neighborhood, they're putting up these new, oh man, man, what's the name of it? Oh my God, I had a conversation with the guy that was doing the measurements in the street. They're putting down these new microfabric wires
Say, wait,
underground.
people don't understand that. It's
They
like,
can
listen, it's I
they can see your heartbeat. They will be able to see
Ooh.
your heartbeat. They can tap into everybody's camera on everybody's door.
Yep. 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 And see,
Omnipresent
and
has
what they
been,
doing it, they and listen, they like, oh, we're working on some things. Xfinity has been one of the ones that I keep getting oh, we're just working. Your stuff is gonna be going out. Oh, I know. Cause y'all updating and upgrading and making some stuff because people don't understand. I tell people all the time, they be like, I'm woke. No, you sleepwalking. You need to be aware. You need to be
yes, ma'am.
aware of what's going
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
right? Like, and
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said this and I say this all over, say it more and more. Check this out. What they realize, because Jason, when the last time you seen a man on a telephone pole working on there? You have not. Why? Because everything's underground. See, you can't have it
Mm,
exposed. You can't have it
mm.
exposed right now. They got to put it underground where we can't see it. We don't know
Mm.
what's going on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And also for the radiation, also
Oh,
for the,
absolutely.
because of the power lines and all of that, it produces too much.
Mm-hmm.
5G towers,
Mm-hmm.
it produces too much. Now they got it microfabric. They can go underground.
Yep, yep, yep. Look closer to the originator. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
I
But
mean, they've been trying to be omnipresent, like they've been trying to
yeah,
be omnipresent for a long time. Man been trying to imitate God. The greatest trick he tried to ever pull was he didn't exist, but I know you exist.
absolutely,
And you
absolutely,
know how to move through people that allow their body to be host, because we fight not against
absolutely,
what? We fight not
absolutely.
against flesh and
We
blood.
but it's principalities and wickedness in high places. Absolutely.
People that allow their body to be host.
Yeah.
You allow it. Knowingly and unknowingly, like you just said.
Mm-hmm. And
Flesh and
so
blood is a physical fight.
and
I
oh,
don't get
absolutely.
paid for fighting.
Not
Do
at
you get
all.
paid for fighting?
Not at all. Listen, what's her name? Clarissa. She got this. Yeah, she got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. She get paid for fight. Mike
Yeah.
Tyson got paid for fight.
Yeah.
Mayweather get paid for
Yeah.
fight. I don't get paid for fighting.
Layla got it. You know what I'm saying? All them people
Like,
can
yeah,
have it. That was
I
what
know
they
how to do it good. You know how
hmm
to do it good if
make
need
me.
be. But
Yeah.
now we have to pay age with what? You go to God with it. Vengeance is
Absolutely.
here. Go to God in
Absolutely.
prayer. Why
Absolutely. He
should I
said,
lift a
vengeance is
finger?
mine and I shall repay. And he's not a God that he shall lie. So when he said it, it shall happen. So, okay. It's like, you know what, God, you got this. You seen it. You
Yes,
got it.
ma'am.
Going on with it. But this the thing. This the thing. And I love this. And we could talk forever and ever. But one of the things I wanted to do before we get ready to call it a day, right, is the fact that we talked a little bit about, because you said something. I just kind of want you to kind of take us out of here with this. The fact of the matter is, with the world being as it is, and I was saying how it's more of us than it's more of them. But we have to know that we're out here. And I think that that was a really big part of our connection and our alignment and speaking and not knowing each other from Adam, but you had to see that, yep, not only greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world, but I got your people out here too. They got your back too. You don't have to know them, haven't had to grow up with them and this, that, and another, but just know that they're mine and they're out here on purpose for purpose, operating in purpose.
I totally agree with you. Even going back to the SCLC, the Southern Leadership Christian Association, that was started way back in the day, where
Mhm.
they can go to any house and get shoes, clothes, food. Women was wanted to cook for them because
Mm,
they started something that was rooted in the Most High God and justice.
mhm, mhm,
Rooted in the Most High God and justice. What has separated us from the loyalty of each other inside of Christ-like behavior? Christ-like behavior
that's it.
is worldwide because of, he said, dominion.
Mm,
Okay, so if we walk inside the dominion with Christ-like behavior, I should be welcomed wherever my Christ-like behavior family is.
right, 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 right,
Sisters
right.
and brothers, Christianity, or whatever word you want to choose to put there. Okay, let's go back to when I went to Vacation Bible School,
Mhm, mhm,
VBS. Used to love it.
mhm.
Mother even bought a station wagon to take our friends there. The thing
Wow.
about it then, the thing about it was back then was they knew you had summer break.
Mhm, mhm,
So they knew you finna be out of school for 3 months. So in agreement was the shepherds. They was in agreement.
mhm.
Okay, we're gonna come my church this week, your church this week, your church this week, your church this
Community,
week, your church
community.
this week, your church this week. So the kids will have something to do repeatedly. You can go to we went to Six Flags one week. The next week we go to White Wars. Next week we go to Lake Wobesoga. Next week we go to Aquarium. Next week we go to this. But you seen kids from other schools. You seen kids from your school who parents took them to church, or they just stopped by to get out summer camp to
Mm-hmm.
get off the streets. Okay, what I was want to get back to is the togetherness and
Yeah.
unity of the fellowship. You mentioned fellowship at the beginning of this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
The togetherness of fellowship inside of Christ-like behavior. Now, to me, to my understanding, it's to my understanding from what I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not leaning on my own understanding, but my own observation of what I see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like shepherds are scared, and I hate to use that word, but I want to use it interchangeably, of allowing other shepherds to speak to their flock.
Division. We went from
Okay,
community to division. Mm-hmm.
okay. I don't want to get that misconstrued. I don't want nobody to be able to draw no unhealthy conclusions from what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why are all the VBSs in the same 2 weeks now?
Competition.
Okay, how is that fellowship body of Christ then?
Well,
When we
the thing
supposed
is,
to be,
because the
when
biggest
we
thing is, guess what? When we're not together and we're divided, we're easily taken out.
mm,
So it's got to go back to the days of Jesus himself and the Pharisees. They were about the law, not about the relationship. And the
oh,
law
now
and the
you just
Bible
said a
says
whole
that the
nother
letter
broadcast.
kills, right? But the
Yeah,
spirit gives life. So if we are, like you said, if we are in competition and we are religious and we are, like you said, you got to come to mind, you got to come to mind, you got to come to mind. This is the one, like you said, then what happens is we're being divided, and a house
mm,
divided against itself cannot stand.
cannot stand.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to elaborate on that just a little bit because of that's what I see, that's what I observe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else you want me to add to that dealing with the question or what we said before you take us out?
No, that was it. I literally just wanted to kind of like conclude our conversation with one, the way we met, that it goes all back to just being an encourager to everybody to let them know it's more of us out here than what we see. And when we do what
Yeah.
you did in the morning by praying for the divine alignment and connections, you will do just that. Be divinely connected and aligned with those who you are purposed to be with. You don't have to go to this event, that event, find yourself over here, go to this space, that fellowship, this fellowship, looking for anything. All you have to do is speak that thing in the morning, declare it, believe it, and it shall be. That's
You
what I
know
wanted to
what? You
say.
just
What?
made me remember something.
What?
Something just came to my remembrance. Over the years, no matter what house of prayer I have went to,
Mm-hmm.
some I got looked at strange. Some is like, what is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
I would always go to the altar. I
Mm-hmm.
was raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you kneel before God.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Mm-hmm.
you get down. And no matter what you got, I don't care if you got on a Steve Harvey suit. You pay $300 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Get on your knee if you're physically able, and you get down and pray. And I was at one particular church. It was a little country church, and the singing was great, and I went up there. I didn't know nothing but one person in the whole church. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. It was
Mm-hmm.
full. It was full. Everybody got their Sunday best on. They gonna eat after church and all of that.
Mm-mm.
I'm a sucker for the music, the singing, especially when that older lady that just got that voice she done had.
What she
She
said?
found it when she was 4,
God
5.
has always
I loved
loved
it.
on me.
I love that. That just drives me
Whoa,
crazy.
yes.
Even right now, as a man, that just drives me crazy. It just drives my spirit wild. It
Mm-hmm.
releases me. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I went up there and I got on my knees.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it kind of shifted the atmosphere because I was shawed. Don't get me wrong, I was
Mhm.
shawed.
Okay, okay
And
with
they
it.
didn't know that I had got the suit from a thrift store, took
Come
it to
on
the
with. You see,
cleaners,
you still you all up in
took
my.
it,
Come on, come on.
took it to the cleaners, and you couldn't tell it.
Made it
But
do what it do.
most definitely, I grew up with four sisters. Uh, so I got on my knees and I did my thing. I prayed. You know what I'm saying? I had about two, three, four tears in my eyes when I got up, and when I turned around, it was just like everybody was looking like, whoa. Next thing I know, some lady, she got up and she went up there too. I don't know what she was
Mm,
dealing with. She was a pretty middle class lady. She had two kids with her. They was like teenagers or per se, and she got up and she went up there too.
mhm, mhm,
Next thing I know, the shepherd whack 'em opened the doors right then, like he just anybody that need to come up here. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Like
mhm, mhm,
he said,
mhm.
I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just shifted. You know?
But the thing about it is, you just said something. See, we ain't gonna be on here all morning. You just said something. You have been called to be a shifter. That's your purpose, right? You said, Big Mitch, you ain't gotta say too much, but you already said enough because I know what you're saying in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You've
Yes,
been
ma'am.
called to move things. It was just making sure that you move the right people in the right place for the right time and for the right reason. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why where you go, you always going make a statement, an appearance, or whatever without you trying. That's just not what you do. It's just who you are. And that's just how it is. And again, that literally is why this was a connection like it was, because you were authentically you operating in purpose, and so was I. And I can't say it enough how impactful your message and your prayers are in the morning. Before we go ahead and close this morning out, though, one of the things that we talked about, I do want you to share, because I want you to just tell the people what you are actively doing and what you want to see happen, and how they can just be a blessing to you so that you can be a blessing to others. How can they help you help others?
Right now, a divine connection of ounce of puzzle piece. The
Mm-hmm.
puzzle pieces is dealing with design of organization.
Mm-hmm.
Organization that isn't coming into fruition,
Mm-hmm.
speaking into existence. Uh, program planner, media.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I ain't gonna say finances right now or nothing like that because I'm working. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
don't make a whole lot, but to be a blessing to people, especially the future leaders of tomorrow, because that's what I like to talk to, mentor to, be a big brother to, be an uncle to, because there's too many single parent homes right now. And
Mm-hmm.
a woman, yes, she can raise a man, yes, she can, but these new generational DNA teenagers, I don't say YN because that's a psychological status,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and some of them will actually believe that and activate that and operate in that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
just psychology, it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to connect with somebody and sit down with them because I have some things to put together.
Okay. All right. Well, you listen, y'all. Y'all heard it right here. And guess what? Call in, hit us up, message, email to get more information, to get connected. Well, he said one of the things he said was media. So God has already answered answered the prayer, because he right here on the station, y'all. You understand what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
Listen, go out here, walk in purpose. But before you go, speak it, because we believe what we hear. So you
Jason
need to
Mitchell
hear you.
51, TikTok, TikTok
Okay,
Jason
Jay.
Mitchell 51. Got Instagram. I done got put out a couple of accounts, and I believe because I used to speak too much truth.
Oh man,
Um,
join the crowd. I stayed in Facebook jail.
yeah, yes, ma'am. And I'm at Food Depot in Riverdale,
Mhm. Mhm.
currently employed. Just got over a broke leg, 2 years down, lost everything. I know I have purpose. I pray to walk in purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not for me. I'm not seeking no type of fame. All I want to do is I'm at the redemption of my own past to make right my
Come on,
wrongs.
come on,
You
come
know,
on.
even though
You
God has
saying some
forgiven
stuff.
me, even though
Saying
He
some
has
stuff.
forgiven me and have set the record straight. But people can bring up stuff. People can talk about your past because they can't touch you in the present. They don't know
Absolutely.
how to access you. The conversations is not even the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the scripture it says your enemy will come from your own household. I dread that sometimes. You know,
Yes. Yeah, it's all good.
because
But
it,
listen, Jason, because I told you, we got another show.
okay,
They can't get all of our
okay,
conversation. We gotta
cool,
have
cool.
some. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
so listen, I'm glad y'all tuned in though. Let's and let me tell you something. I know y'all got a lot from this conversation. And me and Jason gonna have some more conversation and you're gonna hear some more from them. But listen, right now you're gonna hear some fact of the matter and you're gonna hear some more good music on D.O.D Radio Network. Why? Because this is the best radio for your best self, your best life, your best radio. That part and say that. We out this morning, y'all. Have a blessed one.